Right, 16 January 2025. And today I'm going to be giving you a quick update. We've got a lot happening in Africa. And I want, obviously, to give you more news and less opinions. So let's get started. And I want to start with our headline. In Mozambique, we were expecting SADC to come up with a statement on the situation after they held an extraordinary meeting of the Troika on the 5th of January. But yesterday, the inauguration went through and there was no statement from SADC. So SADC has failed to give a statement on Mozambique and on the crisis, the political crisis after the electoral fraud in Mozambique. So SADC has failed to give a statement and the crisis continues. People are dying. Yesterday, 4 young people were killed after an altercation with the police. And the inauguration that took place in Mozambique was not attended by any members of the public. As you can see, it was only officials that were allowed. So look at that area where the inauguration took place. This is right at the center of Mozambique, and there were no people allowed. So members of the public were not allowed to attend the inauguration. Chapo was inaugurated in a private ceremony. There were a few people or leaders from the foreign countries, for example, Opam Chinguri, who is representing Mnangagwa, Chief Charumbira, and the ambassador here of Zimbabwe to Mozambique. However, the majority of presidents stayed away. President Ramaphosa arrived here yesterday because South Africa has got massive interests in Mozambique. South Africa is the single biggest beneficiary of minerals and energy raw materials in Mozambique. South African banks are heavily invested in Mozambique, and this is one of the reasons why the Mozambique crisis has not been addressed, because of the economic interests of South Africa in Mozambique. So it's very difficult for the South Africans to leave Mozambique and not to be involved. However, at the same time, Mnangagwa, who is the chairperson or chairman of SADC, cannot intervene in Mozambique. He is not accepted by the Mozambican people because he's responsible for the rigging that is taking place under Frelimo. Frelimo has rigged the elections. They lost very badly to Venancio Mondlane. Venancio Mondlane won this election because he's extremely popular among the young people. However, Chapo, using the methods that were sent or that were deployed in Zimbabwe, they used the same method in Mozambique to rig the election. That is stuffing of ballot papers, rigging, open rigging of the election, and ghost voters, voters from other countries. And this election has been condemned by everyone. However, Chapo has continued and is now been inaugurated as the president of Mozambique, and SADC is going to do nothing. The same problems that SADC has faced in Zimbabwe, DRC recently, and in many other countries, there is rigging of elections under Mnangagwa. Mnangagwa has caused the rigging of elections in the region. So crazy situation taking place in Mozambique, SADC failing. They were supposed to issue a statement with the elders, but they've not done so. And SADC is becoming the problem in the region because Mnangagwa has taken over and is spreading rigging across the region. So this is the situation in Mozambique. Let's watch what happens going forward. This is not yet resolved. It is going to continue, and Mozambique is going to suffer. The economy of Mozambique is going to continue to suffer. Now, let me quickly take you through some news. I want to start with some key events for today. So let's see what are the key events today. So in Zimbabwe, an army general has died. So another army general has died. So this is Major General Solomon Siziba here. Major General Solomon Siziba died at an army barracks in Harare. Josiah Magama Tongogar, I think, something of that nature. That's where he died. And he was 67 years old. He died after a long illness, suffering from cancer. So cancer among the army officials is caused by poisoning. And there was a mass poisoning event of generals. So if you're a general right now, you were poisoned. And your days are coming. So your days are coming if you're a general. Someone poisoned all the generals, and they're dropping one by one. And there is no month that passes without a retired general or a current general dropping dead. So the reason why it's called cancer is because when they give you that poison, it's a slow poison. It acts very slowly, but you, the person who was poisoned, you know it, that you're poisoning. You find yourself deteriorating slowly, and you find body parts that are normally healing quickly, not healing. And eventually, when you're taken to hospital, they say you're poisoned. And then you become seriously sick. You lie in bed for months and months until you're dead. And yesterday, someone else revealed that they were poisoned. That is the HR, head of HR at Harare City Council, Bosman Matengarufu, has revealed that he was poisoned at City Council, at the Harare City Council. So this poisoning is being implemented across the board. That is, anyone who is in the public space, you must be careful. They don't have to give you food. Wherever you sit, whatever you touch, sometimes someone can even greet you, like shake your hand, and you can get poisoned. So stay away from people that you don't know. Stay away from places you don't know. Do not leave your cup or your plate or your lunch tin or your drink. The killers, murderers, witches, Zipoko. These people are dangerous. ZANU PF people, they can poison you on any day. And the Bosman has revealed that he's now able to use only 80% of his functionality. And most of the time is not aware of what is going on. So poisoning is real. But for the generals, there was a mass poisoning event. There's someone where they went, somewhere where they went, and someone came on a dish, repoisoned, and and poured it. It's not even funny, guys. But can only general, someone poured a dish of poison into their bucket, and they're dropping one at a time. So I just want you guys to know, in Nini, I survived poisoning many, many times. The first time, a girl just came into my car and sat next to me. And when I went home, so we're at a public event, a political event, and she said, please, can you help me to just drive with me because I'm tired. And when I went home, my whole chest was full of, it was a red rash, and something had happened to me. I don't know how she did it by just sitting there. But it's not that they don't have to feed you anything. Just avoid people if you don't want to be poisoned. Then the second incident that happened to me, they came into my hotel and they put something, I think that it was my sheets or something like that. When I left, I could not talk. I had a serious breakout, and it was a mess for months and months. But I managed to survive that. So unfortunately, I don't know how long. You know what? But poison, yeah, they are made overseas. They are very powerful. So you never know if you are going to live or die. But some of us are not afraid. So like in India, I don't I don't know who gives life. Someone else gives life. So I'm not afraid of what happens or what will happen. But I'm just letting you guys know. Be very extra cautious. This poisoning is real, and someone has done this to the generals, has done this to prominent people, and people like Bosman are coming out to explain that they were badly poisoned. So in Zimbabwe, it's really sad that this is happening, the politics of witchcraft. Then let me quickly go to the schools. The schools that opened yesterday in South Africa and in Zimbabwe. So in South Africa, traffic is a mess. So now I have to wake up earlier and drive earlier. So interesting enough, Chivaraidze Academy has opened. I was watching Mini Facebook, and she says Chivaraidze Academy has opened. That's a secondary school, STEM, and they're offering Form 1 only. And you know that there's also Chivaraidze Primary School, interesting school. You must go check it out on Keno Mini Facebook page. That is my favorite person, public figure who goes on social media. I like it. I hate those people who don't go on social media. Why would someone not go on social media? That's crazy. And then what else? President Joe Biden has given his farewell speech to all Americans. So President Joe Biden has given his farewell speech. Please go ahead and watch it. Very interesting speech by President Joe Biden. And he has slammed the New World Order. The New World Order and oligarchs, or a bunch of very rich guys who are controlling everything. President Joe Biden, interesting speech. Go check it out. I was watching it just before I came here. And he has been out also yesterday after striking a massive deal. One of the biggest wars is just about to come to an end because a deal has been struck. So go check out President Joe Biden as he goes out. Then let's look at H Metro, my favorite newspaper. H Metro newspaper is leading with Gibson Ernesto Nema, one of the most popular actors in Zimbabwe. He's now living as a destitute. His feet are hurting and he's got nothing to eat with his wife. This man acted in more than 10 dramas on ZTV. And he says he's now unable to walk to the hospital. That's how bad the situation is. And the biggest problem with ZBC is they don't have a plan. So for the employees, during employment and after employment, and also the actors, so something needs to be done. You can't be in the public space and end up a destitute like this. Similarly, a popular musician, Ranga, of R&K, is extremely sick and unable to work. So popular guys who are entertainers who are known all over the country, unable to work and also sick. And you also saw Sekalas seriously ill. Sekalas is so sick that people are suspecting that he's suffering from a terminal illness. So his wife has come out Moira night and she has denied that she infected him with anything. So I haven't seen the actual pictures of Sekalas, which people are talking about. But apparently Sekalas is extremely sick and she is looking very bad. I don't know if that is Sekalas or not, but the pictures that I've seen are very bad. They look like something has happened to him. And Stuart Nyamayaro is his manager. So I'm going to phone Stuart and ask him what's happening to Sekalas. Is he okay or not? In fact, let me display a few pictures of Sekalas. Sekalas is one of the guys that are very popular or were very popular in Zimbabwe. And it's sad to see guys deteriorating like this, like Baba Harare. The way Baba Harare is deteriorating, similarly, the way that Sekalas is deteriorating. I want you guys to see what it's looking like I know that most people want to see something bad. So this is Sekalas at the peak of his game. And apparently, he's now looking very bad. He's no longer looking that way. And unfortunately, the wife, he said, no, I'm not responsible. She has even reviewed the HIV results. So if you go online, you see that she has taken out her HIV results and said, I'm not responsible for whatever he's going through. If he's sick, it is his own doing, because I was no longer married to him. So let me show you the current picture of Sekalas. And obviously, guys, what I want to say here is that if you get HIV, it doesn't mean you're going to die. You won't die. There is a guy that I know. I think when I first saw him, he was on the verge of dropping. That was like 20 years ago. If you see him now, he's as healthy as can be, because he's able to take care of himself. So that is the current picture of Sekalas. That is the old picture, looking strong and fresh. And this picture where he says he's very ill and not doing well. But you look like you're sick when it's just Namu. Now let's go to South Africa. In South Africa, the Independent Electoral Commission of South Africa has been embarrassed after one of their officials is now facing court after he was found by Jacob Zuma supporters transporting ballot papers or running away with ballot papers from a polling station. So the judges have ruled that this guy has got a case to answer. He's called Musawenkos Mnikati. So the IEC had said it's not illegal for him to take ballot papers and go away without police escort. But the court has said that that's not true. If you are at a polling station, you cannot take away the ballot papers or the ballot boxes and go away with them. This guy was stopped by Jacob Zuma supporters. And when they found him, they took away the ballot papers and they took him to the police. However, the police did not arrest him. And he was only summoned to court afterwards. So a very interesting case in South Africa where vote rigging has been proven. Here, this is clear that vote rigging was taking place, and the Independent Electoral Commission of South Africa has been caught with their hands in the cookie jar. So that is what has happened. South Africans rigging proven over there. Let's see what happens with the MK party going hard against the IEC in their case where they said that there was rigging of elections. And this is a case, an obvious case where someone was caught running away with the ballot boxes, who is an official of the IEC. Very sad situation taking place over there. Then Justice Tinswalo Anna Makubele has been censured. She is been found guilty of misconduct after she was on the bench as a judge, and at the same time she sat on the board of PRASA, the railway company of South Africa. So she obviously said this is not true, but she has lost a case where she was brought before the tribunal and she had to explain why she was on the board of a company and a judge at the same time. And she had said that she didn't know, she had actually talked to the judges to say she wants to start late, but they allowed her and then they turned around against her. So very sad situation here. This sad case, you can find it out in all the newspapers of South Africa. She's been found guilty of misconduct because she was both a judge and a board member of some other company. So crazy case in South Africa. South Africa is becoming some sort of a, I don't know, people just do what they like, loving money too much. Then I want to go to some announcements. ZEC has announced the by-election on the 8th of March. So that is in Chegutu, Guruwe, and Norton. So there are going to be 3 by-elections, and the nomination court for Ward 14 and 3 of Norton. So this will be at, so what's the date of this? Saturday, 8 March is the day of which the polling will take place, and it just became necessary because these guys died. So the 3 people died, and the nomination court will sit on the 6th of February. So check out this announcement. I'm going to put it on Gambako. If you want to contest, if you contest any election now against them, you win. So just contest. And then the presidential Mnangagwa's office, they said they've not issued any statement on presidential scholarships. So if you see any statement on presidential scholarships, it's fake. They didn't issue it. They are going to eventually issue it for 2025. So just be careful. Don't pay any money for it. And then there are 2 adverts, very interesting adverts. Request for interest to run what is called a call center for World Food Program, and also head of corporate affairs and public relations for DStv Zimbabwe. So these 2 adverts, senior positions available in Zimbabwe. If you want, you can check this out. I'll upload this on Gambakwe. Right, let me see if I've left anything. 2 more robbers of Mukuru have been arrested. So a lot of people were involved in these robberies, where Mukuru lost thousands and thousands of dollars at their booths. So someone will just wait for Mukuru to get money, and they'll go over there and steal the money from those public booths where Mukuru gives money. So very sad, but many people have been arrested. So first it was these 4 guys here. Then there was 1 guy who confessed. And then there's 2 more that have been arrested. So many of these guys arrested for stealing. Clever Chada was the first to be arrested. And then this group of 4 here was arrested. I don't know could these guys where they get the guns, but it's obvious that they are connected to Wakomana Maglas. Wakomana Maglas. No data is. Then let me bring this to a quick end. And Venanzo Mondlane, obviously, every day he is live. So you can go and watch Venanzo Mondlane, one of the most powerful opposition leaders in our region, and the suitable president of Mozambique. Mozambicans love Venanzo Mondlane, Sekru Vena, doing very, very well. Unlike Anamalema, you see him once in a while. Whereas Venanzo Mondlane, every day is live. But Malema, unobona Twitter, can once or akadaizo interview. That's when you're going to see him. So Malema needs to be more like Venanzo Mondlane. Venanzo Mondlane is amazing and is always present. I don't know what has happened to Adam Makov. So let's look in the newspapers. The investor who was arrested in Zimbabwe after some dirty cops colluded with Bani Kavai and Ashley Makara. So Bani Kavai is the founder of a mine in Zimbabwe. He went to Bulgaria to get Adam Makov, who invested lots of money. When the mine was not working, they appointed Ashley Makara to run the mine. And Bani Kavai and Ashley Makara are dating. So they kicked out Adam Makov, and now he is in jail after they accused him of stealing a car, the same car that was imported by the mine, which is crazy. And I don't know why Zida allows such things to happen in our country. Then there is a Data Privacy Week symposium in Victoria Falls. If you want to attend, check it out over there. So Data Privacy Week is the end of January. So 28th to 30 January. This is very cheap because accommodation alone would cost you so much. So I don't know if this includes accommodation. So check it out. It's amazing. So let's look at some newspapers. I want to go into the Chronicle newspaper if they published. Chronicle newspaper always has great news. But guys, Mnangagwa akupenga. I want to tell you guys, Mnangagwa akupenga. Mnangagwa is crazy. Let me show you what Mnangagwa has done. Chronicle hasn't published. So I want to show you what Mnangagwa has done in the Herald. I don't know if someone tells Mnangagwa kuti zvaarikuita idzungu. So look at Mnangagwa. President stroke of genius unlocks billions. Murume uyu akupenga. Look at him. Mnangagwa. So what stroke of genius unlocked what billions? And that is the headline in the Herald today. And I told you that every day, Mnangagwa is telling people that, like, he is ordered, that is the only person in front of the newspaper. So no other person is allowed in front here. That's madness. So even if there's an earthquake, they're going to put Mnangagwa at the front. They said, President talked about the earthquake. So that is crazy. And it shows a person and dementia. Dementia. Mnangagwa added dementia. So ndo dzungu racho iroro munhu uyu must, okay, some people must deal with him. Ndakazitaura nezuro. Mukoma Dumi, you're saying SADC is a sellout. They think about their friendship as liberation parties. Gambakwe, 27 November is gone. Give us an update on what said is going to happen. So what happened on 27 October? Sorry, November is 30 November, 30 December. Mukoma Jeffrey, Musataura Zensata. 27 December. Mnangagwa announced changes in the military, changes in intelligence, changes in the army, and changes of this guy, PV. So that is what happened. He stopped something else. He was supposed to go further, but Amira, Mnangagwa didn't go further. Remember, he was supposed to change his ministers. He hasn't announced that. And this week, this week, in 3 days' time, General Chivaraidze is supposed to take over as the acting president. And within the next 3 days, I've told you that something is going to happen. So I'm giving you this thing so that you understand. 19 January, General Chivaraidze is supposed to take over. So a new thing is coming within the next 3 days. And when I tell you these things, you must listen very carefully. Mnangagwa aripa tight. Mnangagwa, no one wants him. And what he's doing is embarrassing us. If you look at the South African press, it's awash with Mnangagwa's plans to extend his term. They are trying to defend it. It's indefensible. No one wants. Imagine going to other countries and saying, I want to go to a 3rd term and I want my wife to be the vice president. And my son is the minister of finance. And my son is the head of the army. And my brother is the commander of the defense forces. You can go on and on. Mnangagwa is embarrassing us. And he's embarrassing himself. Mnangagwa arikura vanhu nenzara. So this is crazy. So don't even ask me about 27 December. Right. So that is very important. And also Chief Justice Mandava slamming Mnangagwa yesterday. Go and check out that video where he said these people are not suitable for public office. Yeah, Mdara Simba Malava. Malava. In Zulu, they say Ukwele was Eshela on top of Mnangagwa. Dambura. Mnangagwa Malava Azutamba Mdara, but Aruzingwa Manje. Malava Argu retire. He's gonna get his retirement later. You're going to see Mnangagwa doesn't take that kind of stuff from anyone. Right, I think we've covered most of what I wanted to cover here. South African newspapers, let's see if there's anything in the South African newspapers. And I apologize, guys, for our delivery problem in Harare yesterday. We failed to deliver to everyone because obviously there was a big demand. So we are going to have more stock coming today and tomorrow. So also our stock is running out because we've got a backlog from December. So please allow us a day or two to deliver to everyone. Move, that is 1 liter engine turns to 3 liters, 1 kickstart, and you don't have to crank it. So there's nothing really of interest to me here. In fact, there's a lot interesting in the newspapers, but I just don't have time to go through all these newspapers. There are so many, and I don't want to look unprepared when I go through them. So I think we've covered everything. The big story here is that SADC has failed to give a statement. After they said the 15th, they'll give a statement. The situation in Mozambique is continuing to deteriorate, and Mnangagwa has lost control of the situation in Mozambique. They've sent Opam Chinguri. She's not capable of negotiating with anybody, and a bizarre inauguration has taken place in Mozambique where no member of the public was allowed. So you can see there were 3 tents. So let me remove the banners so that you can see. There were 3 tents at the inauguration, right here at the front, where people were allowed to sit. There were 2 tents for VIPs. There was the place where Chapo sat at the front, the security tent at the back, and some other security tents on the right. Then other little tents on the left here. Obviously, lots of soldiers sitting inside there to protect another Chapo. So this was a bizarre inauguration. One inauguration where people were not allowed. Members of the public were not allowed. But what I like about Mozambique, at least in town, it's looking reasonable. It's looking clean. If you go to Zimbabwe right now, it's a mess. The town looks like a dump. And it's not because of anyone. The whole town is a mess, it's old. They just need to crash every building and start from scratch. That is what they need to do, that side in Zimbabwe. Right, so I'd like to thank all of you for watching. We've got a new packet, as I said, of Move. If you're in the UK, order this packet. You've never tested this version. That's what we're going to be giving from now onwards. Right, I would like to end it here. And as I said, schools have opened, so I have to jump and go to my office. Thank you very much, everyone, for watching, and a good day.